Welcome back. We are very close now to reading our first EKGs. When we do this, we'll be looking at EKG paper, so I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at EKG paper and get some idea of what it is we're looking at. We have an example here in front of us. As you can see, it's essentially graph paper. It has some height to it, but not a lot, and it goes on forever. The length of it is as long as the roll of paper is. The height is not nearly as important to us as the left to right part. The height really has to do with how much tissue is involved. So if we had an event going along like this, we have like one like this and one like this, we'd look at this and we'd say there's a lot more tissue involved here than here. Relative to each other, this one is a smaller event than this one. This one is looking right here. This one is looking very atrial. It looks like that's probably an atrial event. And this one, I'm just going to abbreviate. This one looks ventricular. Okay, so that's the height part. Now the width of it or the length of it is time. Time. I'll write it down here. Time. And the time's moving left to right. So that this would say be 0 time, and it looks like they're telling us from this big tick mark to this big tick mark is 3 seconds. So this would be 0 time. This would be 3 seconds later. This would be 6 seconds after that. Now, if we look at this 3-second segment, we notice there are a couple of tick marks in between right here, and each one of those is 1 second in length, so that we have 1, 2, 3 seconds. Then we're going to divide this part right here. If you take a look, there are big boxes and small boxes in there. Let's look at the big boxes first. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 5 segments here. It's a total of 1 second of time. So we have 1 second of time divided into 5 equal segments. That means each one is 0.2 seconds. So let's write that here. A big box is equal to 0.2 seconds of time. Down here, they've taken a big box, you can see, and they've blown it up. We can see they're marking it as 0.2 seconds. That makes sense to us. And now they're telling us that you got 4 divisions here, so we have 5 equal sections going left to right. But now we have 0.2 seconds of time divided into 5 equal segments, and that's going to equal 0.4. So a small box is equal to 0.04 seconds. Each of these small boxes is 1 millimeter in length. That really doesn't help us much when we're doing EKG, but we do need to keep in mind this rule about big boxes and small boxes. Big boxes are 0.2 seconds. Small boxes are 0.4 seconds. And then these tick marks that we saw, the tick mark that we had right here, the big tick marks occur every 3 seconds. Here's an example of one. And then the smaller tick marks occur every second in between the big tick marks.